Uh, Hello students. Today I'm going to discuss about time domain representations of LTI system. In the second module we have covered the properties of a system, that is linearity, time invariance, causality, memory, stability, and invertibility. So the next topic is time domain representations of LTI system. So LTI represents a linear time invariant system. That means the system will possess linearity and time invariance properties. So now an LTI system can be represented in different methods. So some of them are the first one we can consider in terms of impulse response, and the second one in terms of difference and differential equations, and third one in terms of block diagram representations. So these are the three methods. Here we will be discussing only in terms of impulse response as per the syllabus is concerned. In terms of impulse response, the LTI system can be described in two methods. So in impulse response, we can describe the LTI system in two methods. The first one is convolution sum, and second one is convolution integral. So convolution sum is for discrete time signals, and convolution integral is for continuous time signals. So let's take one by one. So first we go through convolution sum. We start with convolution sum, that is the derivation of convolution sum, and after that deriving the general expression for convolution sum, we take the properties of it, and then we move to the problems or some examples on convolution sum. So let's start with this. So what is the meaning of convolution is? So convolution means it performs mathematical operations on two functions which produce a third function. That means we take two signals. Here the function represents two signals. They will be convolved to produce a third signal. So that is the meaning of it. Now convolution sum deals only with the discrete time signals. Let we take a signal, discrete time signal x of n, which is multiplied by an impulse sequence delta n. So since delta n is present only at the origin, and the property of multiplication in impulse response, using that we can write x of n into delta n as x of 0 into delta n. Now this relationship can be generalized as a product of the signal x of n with a time shifted impulse sequence. So that means we take the same signal x of n, and this will be multiplied with the time shifted sequence of delta n, that is delta n minus k, where k represents time shift. Now this can be written as x of k delta n minus k. Now if you compare this with the above equation, you can see in the above equation, if k becomes 0, then you will get x of 0 delta n. Why k becomes 0? Because delta n is present only at the origin. So we are not applied any time shift for it. Now what if we apply time shift for k? We have to see, that means we elaborate the expression and we see what happens to that. And before going to that, let us describe the terminologies here. Call this as equation 1, and here n is the time index, okay, and x of n is the entire signal, and x of k represents a specific value of the signal x of n at time k. So x of k is a specific value of the signal x of n at time k. So this equation 1, if we give some values for k takes a value from minus infinity to plus infinity. Now if you apply some negative values and positive values, let's see what happens to the above equation. So that gives you x of n is equal to x of minus 2 delta n plus 2 plus x of minus 1 delta n plus 1 plus x of 0 delta n plus x of 1 delta n minus 1 plus x of 2 delta n minus 2, and it will go on. So this is the expansion of equation 1 when values are applied for k, varying from minus infinity to plus infinity. This is just an illustration of that. Now this equation can be represented in a compact form. So this above equation what we have here, so this can be represented in a compact form. So how it will look like, then x of n is equal to summation. So k takes the value from minus infinity to plus infinity, x of k delta n minus k. Now if you apply the values for k from minus infinity to plus infinity, so this is what the equation will look like. So now give a equation number for this, equation number 2. Okay. Now just going to the basics, consider this box as a system with the system operator h. Now for this system, if I apply an input signal x of n, you will get an output y of n. Now this y of n is the output of the system, which is nothing but, which can also be represented in this way: y of n is equal to h of x of n, because h represents the system operator. Now here x of n is the input signal. So this is the signal which has gone through the system to get an output y of n, which possesses some properties of the system. Now substitute h of n here. So that means I am substituting this x of n value here, that is in equation 2, that gives you h of summation k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of k delta n minus k. So give it an equation number for this as well, that is 3. Now the system, in the beginning I told you an LTI system will possess linearity and time invariant property, time invariance property. So using that linearity property, we can interchange the operator h with the summation, this summation, and x of k becomes a constant with respect to operator h. Now we replace this summation and x of k, which is a constant, and we just interchange it, not replace, we interchange it. So what then the equation will look like this: summation k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of k and the operator h delta n minus k. So this is the expression after applying the linearity property. So, give a number for this as well. Now, using the same concept of the system, that is applying x of n and getting the output y of n. Now, for the system, if you apply an input delta n, so what you are going to get is a impulse response h of n as an output. So, for a system, if you apply impulse function as an input, you get an output as impulse response h of n, and this h of n is represented in other ways like h of delta n, as in the previous case. The same way we are expressing the system here. Now, since the system possesses linearity and time invariance property, so the time invariance property says whatever the time shift you are applying in the input results in the same time shift in the output. So, the system possesses time invariant property. So, that means whatever the time shift I apply in the input, the same time shift will be applied at the output. So, this delta n, now I am giving an input as a time shifted impulse function delta n minus k. Now, the output will be h of n minus k, because it is a time invariant system as well, and this can be represented in this way, h of delta n minus k. Now, you can observe I can now replace this delta h of delta n minus k with h of n minus k by this phenomena. So, therefore, equation 4 becomes y of n is equal to summation k is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of k h of n minus k. So, this expression what we have here, so this expression is nothing but the convolution sum. Now, this can further be reduced, that means in the convolution term is denoted by a symbol star, though we can symbolically represent as y of n is equal to x of n convolved with h of n. This star symbol represents convolution here. So, therefore, equation 5 can be written as x of n convolved with h of n is equal to summation k equals minus infinity to plus infinity x of k h of n minus k. So, this is the expression for convolution sum. So, we can give it an equation number. So, this is the way we represent the convolution sum, y of n is equal to x of n convolved with h of n, and this is the expression for convolution sum. So, in the next video we'll take the properties of convolution sum, and we derive the equation expression for that with proof, and we'll take some examples. Thank you.